Welcome to the Creative Zone.
With element rolls.
Creative Zone. Howdy, elementals, and thank you so much for joining me for my second installment of this painting, DayDreamer. Before we get into it, though, let me give you just a little bit of a recap.
Recap. Time for a recap.
It's that time of the show for a recap. Do you remember this recap? We're recapping, cause it's time for a recap.
Now that I've got you caught up, let me tell you what we're going to address in this video. We are going to be working on these edges, and I'll give you the walkthrough of how I did it and all of my experimentation along the way. We'll also, spoiler alert, show you the issues that I was having with holographic foil. But don't worry about it, because I also have a segment called What Did We Learn coming up in this video. So make sure you stay tuned, because I'll go over everything I learned, a little bit of the technique, and some troubleshooting that I learned along the way. Without any more wait, because I truly know what you came here for. Let's get into the video, and make sure you stay tuned till the end, because I'll have those beautiful, juicy details that I know you're all waiting to see. All right, elementals, let's get into it. More experimentation. I did the edges of this piece in a holographic heat transfer vinyl, something that a lot of people use for stickers and stuff like that. I just really like the way it looks. I'm really playing with iridescent and holographic at this point in my career as an artist, and I just really wanted to get like that 80s vaporwave feel for this painting, because that's the vibes that it gave me, and this was the only way. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all this before I got started, so I'm fixing to have to go back in and kind of scratch it up a little bit more. It came up in a few places and it wasn't like full on attached, okay? But you can see the difference in how, come on now, how this section down here looks and how it's attached. See? If my camera will allow you. Okay, how it's attached. And then you come down here and it looks completely different. It's not scratched in. It looks like it's just sitting on the surface. And that's kind of how it looked right here before I pulled it off. So I think what I'm about to have to do is just go in and like scratch everything really hard. So I'll do that off camera, and then I'll come back and peel everything off and kind of do a reveal, and see if it works or see if I have to redo it. So I'll see y'all in a second. Okay, just wanted to give y'all an update. I'm gonna have to accept defeat on this one and just gonna go ahead and redo it. I just put the glue on way too thick at one time, so let's just go ahead and cut to it being dry and me redoing this, okay? Okay, things I learned. You see the vision though, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna record this part and take the audio and probably redo it. But the tape was too far out. Here are notes so you can make a video sitting down later. Tape is too far out. It creates like a ridge, so it's hard to get this in here. And speed in which you rip it off is important. Don't glob on the paint. It was almost there. So instead, you see where I'm going. So instead, we're gonna take the stuff that I put on the side and we're gonna put it right here, and then we're gonna show it to you. About this time, I know what you're thinking. Element, why are you cutting out so many strips? You do not need that many. Well, let me tell you, about this time, my husband stepped in and saved me. So what happened was the knife kept moving and I could not cut a straight line. Shout out to my husband for coming through and saving the day like he does on a normal basis. Make sure you have baking sheets, paper, it can be brown or white, and a towel, and then crank that iron all the way up, baby. You're gonna need it extremely hot, but you gotta have that protection there or you're gonna mess up your painting. We'll get into the final details in just a moment, but now it's time for that part of the segment called What Did We Learn? Howdy, elementals. Now it's part of the segment we like to call What Did We Learn? Where we talk about what we learned because we learned it, and it's important to know what we learned. So let's get into learning what we learned. How to draw cohesive jellyfish curtains. These boys right here. Now that was a pretty big feat because, as you know from previous discussion, we couldn't find any tutorials on how to do it right. So we made one. How to build transparencies. Now that was the biggest thing for me with this painting, was to learn how to build transparencies, because I have another painting after this that is a self-portrait that is dependent on that skill. So that's the biggest thing that we pulled from this, is how to make transparencies. Now remember, this painting was a major experiment. Holographic foil needs to be on a less textured and possibly raised surface, such as wood or something like that. So essentially what I was doing was I was creating a moat or a trench for the glue to sit in, and instead of it, sticking to the canvas, it essentially stuck to everything else around it. I also put way too much glue on it. So that's another thing that you really need to know. And note, a little bonus is make sure that you don't put too much glue. When dealing with holographic transfer vinyl, make sure you clean the area with rubbing alcohol, because if you don't, you're going to run into a lot of issues with peeling and stuff like that, like I demonstrated in the video. So make sure you learn from my lessons. Make sure you learn from my struggles. Let me provide your life lessons. And I think that's about it. So with that, we wrap up our first ever What Did We Learn? So thank you for joining me here for What Did We Learn to go over what we learned, because we learned it and it's important to talk about what we learned. Thank you so much. Now we return to your regular broadcast and let's see those final details. I don't mean to interrupt these final details, but I'd like to tell you what I'm doing. I'm putting a holographic ghost pigment from Eye Candy Pigments. It's a pink ghost mica powder, and I've mixed it in with some glazing medium, and I'm putting it on top because the way it reflects light is incredible. And right when I thought I was done, the sides, they came unstuck it from my beautiful and masterpiece. So we had to put them back on. My camera decided not to focus that entire time. Since I had had so much trouble with the sides coming off because I did not prep correctly, I went ahead and put these little corner cutouts on the corners to help protect the edges. Also, it just looks really cute on the front, and it's just a little detail I truly appreciate about this painting. Howdy there, elementals. Just wanted to jump in real quick before we get to those final, beautiful, juicy details, fluffy little cloud details. I just wanted to stop and say thank you so much for coming this far and being here with me for my first journey. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to start this part of my artistic journey and just sharing my knowledge with other people, showing off my artwork, speaking to a whole new audience. Here's to creativity and happiness and learning new things. Always make sure you're learning new things. All right, let's get into those details.
I've got something to show you.
Again, I just want to take a moment and say thank you for joining me on my first ever YouTube adventure, elementals. And I hope there will be many, many more to come. Please let me know if there's any, I don't know, visual you'd like to see on a canvas. Maybe it'll give me an idea in the middle of my stuff. I'm really here just to like show you what's in my brain, and I just really hope you like it. So feed my brain and I'll show you more stuff. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of it, and I hope you stick around and become an elemental.